Hi everyone, the Ask Mike Show back again, and we're talking all about positive thinking and whether it can be a bad thing. This was a question that was sent in from a listener, and they wanted to know, can it ever be a bad thing? Now, my thoughts are that you can ride the line between positive thinking and then deluding yourself into thinking that things are much better than what they actually are. Now, a lot of successful people, they are borderline delusional with their positivity, but they can back up at least some of their thinking. So they ride the line because they stretch themselves positivity wise, but they're able to back up at least some of it with their actions. And they obviously they don't convince themselves that they're able to do something that they've got no chance of doing. So depending on what it is, depending on what your skill level is, depending on, the situation that you're in, right? So sometimes you have got to tell yourself whatever it takes to be able to do the thing. So if you're telling yourself negative thoughts, negative things, negative stories, that can have a very negative impact on your ability to act. Flip side of that, you tell yourself that you can do it even though you've never done it before, you're amazing, you're fantastic, all these things, and then your actions don't back it up, you lose faith in yourself, you lose trust in yourself. And not just that, you lose the trust and the belief in the method, in positive thinking, and you think that negativity is the only way, and becomes a double-edged sword, and you can attack your progress from both angles if the story that you tell yourself is not backed up by your actions. That's why you need to do a bit of both. That's why you can't think like 100 if you're at step 1. So that's when it becomes negative, because if you tell yourself that you can do it, you're amazing, you're fabulous, you can change the world, all those things, but then you don't take any steps, you don't do anything, you don't begin the process of getting there, all the while you're telling yourself that you can already do it, you lose faith in that. It chips away at the level of belief that you have in yourself. This is why a lot of the old self-development and personal development ideas are causing, or potentially causing, the situation that we're in now, where no one trusts themselves, no one believes in themselves, because they've been deluding themselves into thinking that they are considerably better than the actions that they're actually capable of making. So I never said I am going to be top of the charts in the world podcasting wise. If I did, meanwhile, I'm not. Meanwhile, I'm not taking the steps. Meanwhile, I'm convincing myself I'm amazing, so I don't need to do anything. I don't need to change anything. Most people don't change things that they already feel they're amazing at. If you tell yourself that you're fantastic, you don't feel like you need to improve. So that's where the realism has to come in, so that you start to see where you can change, see where you can improve, and you start to be a bit more humble, if you will, with the stage that you're at, with the place that you are in your journey. You're more likely to understand that it takes steps, that it takes time. It takes time to build something meaningful. If you tell yourself that you're already there, you've convinced yourself that you don't need to do anything, the actions don't relate to the thoughts. The actions don't relate to your way of thinking. And you start smashing your head against the wall when you need a hammer to get through the wall, but you convince yourself that you're a hammer, right? So it's a very difficult situation to be in. And sometimes the positive thinking can be the cause of a lack of belief in yourself, because you've been positive thinking for so long, your actions don't map to it, the reality doesn't map to it, and therefore you lose faith in yourself. You lose everything. Because once you lose faith in yourself, you don't try anything new. You don't test yourself. You don't challenge yourself. You don't really do much of anything. But then you realize that positive thinking is the only way that you will get off the couch, even though I'm sat on the couch, and go out there and make things happen. So Can it be negative? Of course it can. But everyone has their own limits. My limits can be much bigger than somebody else's. Someone's limits are probably considerably higher than mine. And that's okay, because it's based on where you are right now, based on your part in the journey, based on the fact that it takes steps, it takes time, and you, like everybody else, have to go through the steps, have to go through the journey, right? So don't discount the fact that positive thinking helps. Don't discount the fact that positive thinking, for some people, can be the only way that you do anything. But then don't convince yourself that everything's sunshine, rainbows, roses, you name it, when it's not. Because if you do that, you're putting up with the reality while convincing yourself that it's better than it actually is. And you won't change it. Because apparently it's already fantastic and already amazing and you don't need to change. So think about that. It's about your ability to act, your ability to take the steps, your ability to make progress. Is that because of the positive thinking that you've convinced yourself that you don't need to? Because it's already amazing. If that's the case, then yes, positive thinking is going down the road of stopping you from taking action. It's all about the actions. It's all about convincing yourself to act, not convincing yourself that you don't need to. I hope that makes sense. There's probably a lot more to it, but I like keeping these episodes very, very short and snappy. Have an amazing day. If you have any other questions about it, let me know. Feel free to share this with people that are struggling. Maybe they've tried positive thinking before. Maybe they have taken it too far down the road. Have an amazing day, as I said. Feel free to share it, tag people, message me if you have any questions about the show, and leave a review if you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of the day. Speak to you soon.